dead air, dead air, dead air, dead air, dead air. If everybody wants one, you can come up and grab one afterward. All right. Otherwise, there. There's the screening. That's the screening right there. Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
We was hanging on that for 87 minutes. Thank you very much. Do I need this? No. Right into it.
Is that better?
Wait a second. No? Okay. All right, so dead air. A lot of people have been asking about it. One thing. Can everybody hear me, actually?
Yeah.
So I don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I just touched it. Shoot, where's my antibacterial? Good. Oh man, I got the flu. Okay. Now it looks like. Okay. We finished it about 2 months ago. It took about a year and a half to do because I do the show Psych, and in the middle of it, I had to go and do the other season, and then we had some other scenes to shoot. Then I had to get everybody, as you can imagine, Bill back together, Bill Mosley, and all the other actors. So we finally were able to do it and then pull it all back together. And we actually finished up. I just shot another movie called Rust, which is cool. If anybody wants to know, my company is at, it's called Team Cherokee Productions, like the Indian team, like TEAM.com. You can go check out all my stuff there. But I had to go shoot this other movie that I wrote last year, and right before we got to finish all of our post-production, get all of our ADR done, and music done. We got great music by a guy named Mike Post, who did LA Law, all that, and he does the Law and Order. He's a good guy, he's a buddy, and so he said, man, he never gets asked to do film. I thought, well, okay, do a film. And he did a really cool score for us. And we finished it, and then we got our international distribution right away. That was pretty quick with the company. It's actually going to show in Cannes. I like to say it's at the Cannes Film Festival, but that's sort of that's yes, it's playing at Cannes, but it's not like, Jack Nicholson's not going to the screen. Nor am I. So we have our international distribution set up, and we're just domestic. I'm waiting. I'm really you see it here. There's so many people, so many movies, and I just don't want to get lost. And Bill's really good in it, and it's a cool. I like the movie. It's a cool movie. It's what I wanted to do. We've had people say there's not enough gore, not enough violence right off the bat. And I said, well, no, that's the script I shot. But I just want to make sure it breaks through, so I want to get the proper distribution. I'm not one of these guys who it's got to be in the movie theater, Fortunately for me, my ego is not about having it in the theater. It's getting it in the hands of fans who want to see it and them liking it, I guess. So whether it's in a big theater or not, I don't know. It could. It's shot well, so it looks nice. I've seen it blown up. It looks good, but I just want to make sure people get it and get it at a good value. That's one of my my core principles of my company, is to make movies for certain people and get it in their hands as directly as we can, and reduce the cost along the way, reduce the cost to the people getting it and all that. So we had a good time. It was interesting for me, and I'd done obviously the dentist movies, and I did the Masters of Horror. And so my mom's been in movies that were horror movies. I grew up with Roger Corman. Literally, I built Roger's house, his office building. So I was around all that stuff. And I just wanted to, I love the genre, but I want to do it sort of on my terms. I don't want to follow everybody. So Dead Air is my first attempt, my first crack at it. And unfortunately, there's a movie. I was up in Canada shooting this other movie. It's called like Poontang Yaya. I can't remember the name of it. About a radio show guy, and there's a virus that gets out. And I thought, oh, great.
Yeah.
Ponytail, or what's it called? I don't know. Anybody seen this online?
Pontypool.
Ponypool. What a stupid name. Ponypool.
Is that the name of the town?
Yeah, but it's all about people who don't get the virus. They speak French Canadian or something. It's a little bit weird. But nonetheless, it was about a DJ. We looked at it. I got an email one day. He says, from one of my producers, he said, check this out. And I looked at it. I was like, oh man, it's like a radio station and the virus is out there. And it's, yeah. So, but we're our own movie. We're pretty cool. And can check it. Dead Air. We have a pretty cool website actually. You can see the trailer, and see some of the art and different things from it. So, any questions? Yes.
What did you end up shooting it on? Were you shooting digital video, or were you shooting film, or?
Digital video. We shot with the Sony F900.
Okay.
Yeah. It was Donna on Demand. I shot one movie, and then what happened was I shot a movie called Donna on Demand, which is sort of like me and Susan Rattan, who was on LA Law with me, and sort of like what would my characters be like 30 years later in a different environment because I can't use those characters. And my brother and I built the sets. You just look at the credits that says Bernsen Brothers. You know, it's really right. We physically built these really cool sets. And I was in the middle, and I said to my producers, I said, man, we got to do another movie. These sets are too cool. I can do something with them. We're on a nice sound stage. We have a really good crew together. And so they found me this movie, Dead Air, this guy Kenny Yackel wrote. And it was really kind of cool, socially, had an interesting message. I mean, even with what's going on with the swine flu thing about, viruses and, fear and panic and all that stuff. It was in there, so we went and did this other movie right away. But I get confused if we shot the Donna on Demand, because we did switch cameras. I think it was the F900.
Okay.
I just shot a movie on red, though.
Yeah, how do you like the red camera?
Well, I love what we shot. I mean, it's exquisite, but everybody's saying, wait till you get to post, wait till you get to post. So
yeah.
I'll find out. But what I shot, I mean, I'm editing, and it looks nicer than any movie I've ever shot just in the editing process, It's usually some offline, crummy looking. It's beautiful. I mean, it's in 4K resolution if we want to go there.
Right.
It's exquisite. We showed on the side of a stadium.
Right.
Which is really, which means it'll look really good on the web. Any questions? Yeah.
Well, kind of along the same line. Do you think like the new high definition cameras, the software that's coming out, is making, that's offering movie making to the average person that would never ever touch that? How do you think it's going to affect the industry in the future?
Can everybody still hear me back there without doing this? That's an interesting question. Yes, I'll do like half and half here. I'm 54 years old. I made my first movie, Carpool Guy, when I was 50. I had waited. I had many opportunities to do TV and different things, and people said you should direct. I'd be on a set and doing little movies, and people were saying, well, will you help me direct? And you direct, and I'll wait my time. And I waited, and this company, Team Cherokee Productions, and part of my whole thing, and I was just talking to Emily out here with her movie with Pathogen, I'm really all about young new filmmakers and who understand the technology far better than me and can grasp onto get onto something new better than me. I mean, there's a new role in Hollywood. It's called digital management technician. There's like a DMT or something. It's like a person that's on the set that's constantly managing. The kid that shot that did the DMT for me on the last movie is now I let him have a chance at editing that. But to answer your question, I'm really excited. It's interesting. At 50, I started directing. Really, I mean, I'd done plays and things, but I did it at a time where I really am embracing younger filmmakers. And even here, I've taken 20 films home with me to look at. And part of my goal is to create a company, sort of a co-op, that allows young filmmakers to come in. Maybe I can add my name to it. I can add, a lot of these movies, I'm sure they're great little cool movies. I don't have any names in it, so you're already, out the door. And if I can bring that and sort of help young filmmakers, get a step up, and I've got a lot of plans for that. And that's one of the things I want to do with my company. It's not all about me. I think it's exciting, and the technology, and the only thing I'd say over and over and over again, there's probably 100 movies out there by young filmmakers, and the only thing I say over and over and over is story. Story. There's a great filmmaker my son loves, Darren Aronofsky. I love Darren. Beautiful, wonderful things. But The Wrestler, if you think about it, everybody talked about The Wrestler because of Mickey Rourke. They didn't go, wow, it's a great movie. And, I think it was a fine movie, but there's faults with the story. And that's the one thing young filmmakers, you can't just jump to being Picasso without knowing how to paint. And there's an assumption when you have a digital camera, you can be raw and real and whatever. This is why I'm really curious to see Emily's movie, because I keep pointing to Pathogen. He's wearing a Pathogen t-shirt. Because I understand the story is really good. I mean, production value is probably crappy little video camera production value, but all that holds up if a story holds up. Blair Witch, story holds up. I mean, who would have ever thought you shot on a little, and there were bigger plans behind that whole movie, but story. So all the technology in the world will not get you story. But I am really, really excited and embracing all the new stuff that's coming. And I think it's really good because, I think studios need a shakedown. Studios are going to end up doing, $130 million versions of Star Trek, and that's going to be the business of the studio. I was in a great little movie, for instance, I really liked, called Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. And $13 million movie, Shane Black, who's master storyteller, wonderful writer. And it gets lost because I think it opens up with Batman and all these other movies, and it shouldn't. It's a small little independent movie. So I think, studios have their place, and distribution is changing. That's the next big frontier, the next big one. I've been meeting with guys about, I met with these people last week about having these kiosks where the airports, you download DVDs and DVDs that self-destruct in 4 hours and all that kind of stuff in 4 days. All those things are so Blu-ray, and Blu-ray is going to be shorter than, man, we're going to be so quickly into like digital download. I mean, we're going to be, I just think we're so moments away from that. And, you're just going to sit at a house overnight. I mean, it's already there, pay-per-view. I mean, I don't know. People keep saying, well, people want to have DVD collections. Well, if the economy keeps going where it is and the cost of a house keeps going and you're going to only afford 1,200 square feet, you're not going to want to spend $200 and putting your DVD collection up when you got your nice Apple or Mac, which you'd rather spend $2,000 on and have your video library, And for guys like me who are in their 50s, you go, no, I still want to see it. Well, my kids don't. They could care less. They like the artwork, oddly enough. And I think we'll always be able to download artwork, which is cool. And you know what? You can have a file of art. You can you can put it on your computer, or you can download files of artwork and flip through. I could have 500 movies in a file in my what do you call it, my file cabinet that I want to pull out artwork and look at it. But distribution's the next big thing. My company, the Team Cherokee company, if you look at the website, you see I'm about finding audiences for movies that want to see a specific kind of movie and getting it in the hands of those people as directly and cost efficiently as possible. That's what I want to do. I want to say, look, okay, in fact, I actually I bought one of the best domains. Some people think it's cool. About a thing called hometheaterfilms.com, which there's nothing there yet. But I had the notion of like, everybody's got like 50-inch plasma with a 5.1 Dolby surround. You got your own theater in your living room, If I can give you a really good movie that's shot for that screen, 40 to 60 inches or something like that, 5.1, a great mix. If you can go watch a movie for $12, 14, I don't, whatever somebody's going to stick on it, but you get 5 or 6 people, man, that's cool. I like that. I think it's a really good thing. And then, to answer your question, then we can allow all these people that want to make movies have a place. But if you got to fight for shelf space at Walmart, the holy grail, evidently. This last movie I did a Christian movie. I'll tell you a little funny story. My dad died about a year ago, and I sort of got this inspiration to write this faith-based movie. And we got a lot of stuff on it because this movie, Fireproof, has done so well. It's made for like $500,000, and it's made like $35 million. So everybody's calling me up, and we got some notoriety about this story. But all these Christian groups I didn't realize there were so many kinds of Christians, and it's like, if you do this and this, and if you do this, it's good for us, and if you do this, it's good for us, if you do this, and all of them, and we'll get you to Walmart. It says, all Christianity leads to Walmart. But man, I was like, if you do this, it's great. And another group was, well, take the church out because we're against the symbolism of religion. And another one is, you're not enough Jesus Christ. And they've got to say Jesus Christ saved your soul for you know. And other ones are just sort of straightforward. And it's a wow. No wonder the Republican Party's in trouble. Yeah, all roads of Christ lead to Walmart. So it's subject to my new documentary. But dead air. Sorry, questions.
Oh, where did you get the script? Where did you end up finding it? And
A guy named Kenny Yackel. I think I was pronounced Yackel. I can never. I just always feel odd. I know him, and I still can never pronounce his last name. He through my partners who did the other movie, this Dawn on Demand movie with me. They knew him, and he had written some scripts, and he's really into the horror. He understands everything about it, far better than I, or probably most of us. He knows every website, everything about horror. And he had written the script, and it was pretty cool. I mean, he's really into it. I want to actually do a movie. I just got an email from Brian Usna, who directed the Dentist movies and did Reanimator, and I told him I wanted to do a clown movie. And I may get Kenny. He took a crack at it a while ago. I have an idea of what I want to do. Just a very sort of, not, killer clowns or zombie clowns, but just a really good clown movie. And I've got a pretty good story, so I mean, he's coming in. He's actually making movies in Indonesia now. But we're going to work on that. But I'm going to maybe get Kenny to write that. Kenny's a really good. Now you say, I want to do a clown movie. It's like 3 days later, there's a script in here, which is the way independent movies should be. Especially when you're giving them $5,000 to write the movie. Yes. How about that trailer? We don't even have the trailer here, huh? Wow, that's a shame. Oh. That's too bad. Well, this is what it'll look like. I thought I had it here. That's what it'll look like when it comes out. But evidently we didn't set that up, right? No. We're showing it actually. It's at Cannes, so we sort of have this exclusive thing. That's why we couldn't show it here at the Cannes Film Festival. But the trailer's at Dead Air. Yes. It was pretty simple. I kind of really wanted to do it, but my partners, I'd just done this movie before, and it was a really cool role for this radio DJ right up my alley. But then they had said, they had a line on Bill Moseley, so, we all know that Bill's, really cool in the genre, to have a good name there and give me a chance to sort of focus on directing and not building sets, directing, writing, acting, starring, doing the whole thing. We went and had lunch with Bill. He liked the idea of it. He really gave Bill a chance to do something out of, costume and makeup and just sort of be the straight guy. And he was really wonderful. I think everybody's going to be thrilled to see him. Maybe everybody but Rob Zombie. I want his makeup on. But Bill's a character. He was good. And that was, we had a lunch and he really liked the script. And then I think he or somebody brought Pat Tallman because they had worked together on one of Turn of the Living Dead.
Night of the Living Dead remake.
Thank you. Oh, it was the remake?
It was the remake.
Okay, so it was the remake. They worked together, and then I had some auditions for this really cool role of this sidekick. Kind of like what's a Howard Stern sidekick? What's his name? Yeah, right. And so I had some auditions, and we got this guy, David Moscow, who was the little kid in Big. He was the little kid. He's really good. He's great in it. And another guy named Josh Feynman, who was relationships through different art producers. And I had done a movie with him called Pirate Camp. It was a good little kids movie. And Josh did that. And it was a really small cast. It was good. And then we put a thing out in Craigslist. Thank God we didn't get any murderers. But, and we said anybody wants to come dressed up, be our zombies. And we had hundreds of people show up. Well,
about 150 people on the nights that we shot the zombie stuff, and they all came. It's kind of like here, but in LA, you want to be in a movie, and they put my name out there, which sort of gave it some legitimacy, and they all showed up, and we just said, we really made it look much bigger than our budget was. Yeah, the Craigslist zombies. I still have people coming up and saying, I was in your movie, and I feel bad because I should know everybody a little bit more, but they did a great job. They really came dressed up. I mean, really going for it. It was great. But that was it. There wasn't too much casting. 4 or 5 people. Oh, and Naveed, who we needed that was the hardest part, is finding somebody, this whole stereotypical Muslim terrorist thing. That's really hard. And we've read a lot of guys, really wonderful actors, And I was reading everybody from Indian to Syrian to all these different Egyptian, and we got a couple of really great guys to do our terrorists. And I always felt bad because, every audition they go to is for, you just don't get a lot of roles for, Arab good guys. So that was a bit tough. But we got a great job done there as well.
Now, being on a tight budget, how many days did you shoot the film in?
350. No, no, it wasn't. We shot it, I think the main shoot, which is the stuff in the radio station, which we broke it up to interiors and exteriors. We shot all the stuff in the radio station in about 14 days, and then we shot about another 5 or 6. I mean, all in all, it's no more than 20. It's probably about 19 days. Yeah. Yeah, but when you do, I have a different attitude about small budgets, and that is just keep your movies smaller. You can't, and 3/4 of this movie, which was difficult, and I had to really work out some stuff with camera to keep the movie going, and I think we did a good job with that. I have a wonderful DP named Eric Peterson who's done 3 movies with me now, and he's beautiful. The movie looks really great, and or it has its own style, I should say. And Eric is great, but we kept it moving. But most of it's in the radio station and hallways and things, and just we have just a couple of days out to do some of the night stuff. So it was about maybe 19 days, maybe 18. I'm waving. Yes, in the back.
We really enjoyed the Celebrity Bowl I told you earlier.
Yeah.
Out of all the reality shows, that would seem like it has to be the one. It's just, how fun was that to make? How long did it take to make? And,
A Celebrity Mole?
Yes.
Well, I did 2 of them. I did the original one, Celebrity Mole, and then we did a second one where they invited me and Stephen Baldwin back and added Dennis Rodman to the mix. So that was really fun. First one was fun, but I get way too caught up in that stuff. I mean, what you see on TV is real. I mean, that is reality TV. I got way too competitive for hanging out in Mexico where I should be just chilling. And I just seriously. And it's not about the money. It really isn't. I mean, it's nice. I mean, I like anybody. I got 4 kids going to college. $200,000 is dandy. But it gets much more about, please, I don't want to be the one who gets, thrown off. I mean, I can't describe it. It's not good for me. It's my blood pressure goes up. It's really, I don't know if I'd go do. I don't know if I could survive it. Seriously, it's.
you don't see yourself maybe doing Celebrity Apprentice or?
I think I'd hit Donald Trump. I'm certain. I'd throw a chair at him. Now, if I got when I get wigged out, man, I go off the hook. It's my wife. It's the only thing about me directing movies is this last movie, she said, this is a Christian movie you're making in a small town. Please stay calm. Because I do, if I go, I'm a pretty chill guy, but when I go, I can't even see it, man. It's over. So the mole thing, just flips my switch, man, and I'm like, it's not good for me. It's not healthy. Then you got Dennis Rodman in there, and, I think I really picked on the little girl from the Cosby Show, and she got all wigged out, man. Keisha, whatever her name is, little brat. And then that's on TV. It's you picked on the Cosby kid girl, blow. Oh, man. But it was fun with Rodman. Rodman was like a freak. Rodman's a guy who's he's the only guy I go out drinking with, and he'll go to the bar and he just keeps lining up shots, and it's the only time in my life I've ever actually, he keeps putting them in front of you, and he'd turn his head and I'd like dump it like that, just to, like I was staying up, because if you looked like you didn't want to know, he wouldn't let you stop. Then you'd wake up and at 6 in the morning, he'd be the first guy in the gym, working out. I want to do a movie with him. He'd be great in movies. But he's brilliant. He's a genius, Dennis Rodman. I think he'd be really good in horror movies. Well, he is horrific. God. No makeup.
I think we have time for one more question. Anyone?
Anyone? Sure.
Do the creators of Psych really believe that The Mentalist is a new original concept?
Well, do the creators of Psych believe that The Mentalist is an original concept? We're pretty convinced. Everybody likes to repeat itself. I mean, they probably had to look at that, or somebody did, and think, this is a good starting point for something. But, we're different. We're a light sort of comedy, and we have fun, and we smile, and it's on USA, and, no big thing. And, Mentalist is, God bless me, it's a good show, but, I just don't, again, I'm kind of moved at my point in my life. I'm so much more comfortable here doing this and being on a cable show, and you get to a point where you're just doing your thing. I mean, I've got a wife. I've been married for 20 years. I have 4 great kids. Make my little movies. Okay, so they're $500,000. I don't have to play in that big game. It's nice to do a series and get paid nice, so I can afford to do it. But sometimes it's really, I don't know. I'm really enjoying being a little bit sort of. People are here like saying to me, like, what are you doing here? What do you mean? You're still acting, and you still actually do stuff. And I said, well, yeah, but I'm also, I always enjoy I enjoy meeting you guys. I enjoy hearing, I do know my next concept for a horror movie, and it took me the whole weekend, and it's probably the purpose I'm here, because I'd have people come up with, like, totally tatted out, and just knows every kind of ring, you can only imagine what's in the rest of their body, and coming up and go, man, I really love Your Mother on The Young and Restless, and I really love Major League. And they're like, what about all my horror movies, man? It's like, oh, yeah, they're good, but and then they're looking like, should I get a Major League picture? Should I get a dentist picture? Should I get a Major League picture, dentist picture? So I thought, I'm going to do a horror baseball movie. 3 Strikes, You're Dead. I finally came up with a name at this point. 3 Strikes, You're Dead. I don't know what the movie is yet, but I just know that 3 strikes, you're dead. And then you're undead. If anybody has a better title, then I'll figure out what the movie is. So be looking out for 3 Strikes, You're Dead. It's the creepy tale of a baseball team that inhabits a cornfield in Iowa and starts eating farmers.
All right, let's have a hand for
All
Corbin.
right.
Be sure to look for Dead Air with everybody's favorite Bill Moseley.
I'll be out there for about another half hour, then I gotta go back to Vancouver and make my living.
Okay.
All right, thanks, guys. If anybody wants one of these, check out the website, and we'll have information about Dead Air and, how it went to the Cannes Film Festival. That's pretty weird. If I get the Cannes Film Festival, I'm not even going. It's like, all right, okay. But here are these things if anybody wants them. If not, they don't make good toilet paper. They're too hard. All right. See you guys. Bye. Yeah. All right.
So
Take it easy.
refreshingly realistic about the small screen in the home.
Cool. Cool. Good. You bought it, huh? Okay.
Next panel is